Hey everyone, we're back with another What Sold. This is 3 days of eBay sales from my store. It's a pretty good mix of stuff here. Hopefully you guys will find some stuff that you like. On these kind of videos, we're still back into June for my sales. We're about a month back from where today is, so that's still pretty good for me because we're even further than that, but we're getting caught up. It just takes a little bit of time. I'm pretty busy. It seems like never enough time to make these videos, but I'm trying to get at least a few out a week and stay really on pace so that way you guys can get the content. Today was actually an awesome day. I finished garage selling this morning. I had the GoPro with me, so hopefully I have some footage of at least the main sale that I went to. I got a bunch of video game stuff, an inbox 64 with some games that were inbox, a GameCube with some pretty good games, the AGS 101 or whatever, Game Boy Advance, and some other stuff, a Wii and all that. We definitely paid up a little bit. I was going over the pricing with the lady, what I thought it was worth, and we kind of made a deal. So I hope it'll be fun to see that on the GoPro, and kind of people like looking at video game stuff, it seems. So I was super happy. I wore my lucky garage sale shirt, this Batman one. You can even see it's got, like, maybe you guys can see some like messed up stuff here. It got caught in the old dryer we had that was kind of wonky, and it got ruined, but I couldn't not keep it because this is my lucky garage sale shirt. So I don't wear it every time, but some of my best buys have come wearing this shirt, and today was not a it definitely was one of those days. So I don't know if any of you guys have any lucky garage sale shirts or any weird things. It's only weird if it doesn't work. If it works, it's, you know, you do it. But if it doesn't work, then yeah, it's a little weird, I guess. But let me know if you do. Let's get into the what sold part. But before we do, one last question I had. This was someone actually in my personal circle that had asked me about my videos and why do I spend the time showing these lower dollar stuff. They're not as exciting. They're not, you know, people don't want to see that or whatever was kind of the suggestion. And the reality is, guys, I'm showing you what I'm doing in my eBay business so you guys can get an idea of how I'm doing it. It doesn't mean everything I'm doing is right. It doesn't mean every sale you should emulate. At the same time, I want to show you if something took forever and then it went on sale and it finally sold for a cheap price so you know kind of what happened. But also, sometimes a $10 CD or a video game for $10 or an ink for $12 or whatever the case might be, maybe that's something you can find for 50 cents, a quarter, a dollar, and it's worth it for you to take the time to make it because maybe you're not able to find a bunch of video games, or maybe you can't find, you know, I sold a lighter recently for 150. You guys will see it in another video, and if you're on Instagram, you may have seen it, but you may not be able to find those all the time, or you're still learning, so maybe you want to work on stuff that's a little bit, you know, on the lower end because that's what you have available to you. So I'm showing that to give you guys an idea of the whole spectrum of what I sell on eBay. Take and use whatever you want. There always will be, hopefully, some higher end bolos and some good stuff, but the little stuff, the bread and butter stuff, I still love that. It's really the heart of the business, and I want to show you guys that, so hopefully you can use it. But if the person who asked me that, obviously, if you just want someone showing $100 bolos, there are people out there, I'm sure, doing that as well, so go for it. Let's get into it, though. The first thing is a CVS sugar-free nicotine lozenges. I've sold a few of these, and sorry for the shaky camera because I just bumped the workbench here, but these things there's a discount store I've mentioned I bought from them many times. This one was there. It was, I think, 12 bucks, but they may have given it to me for 10 because some of the prices were different. It was brand new sealed. They buy pallets, I've said, from CVS and from other places, and this one ended up selling for 33 ship. Now 10 bucks into 33 goes first class shipping. For me, that was really good deal for a retail arbitrage type deal. Some people may have not been into it that much. I will say the ones that I bought, the cherry flavor, were the ones that I bought that sold really well. They had like the generic one or whatever, but it didn't seem to do that one. I don't know if it was mint or whatever it was, but the cherry ones, this one was also sugar free, but the cherry ones sold really well. Might be something to look out for. Here's a shirt. It's kind of a bad picture. It's better than my really old ones, but it's not as good as my newer ones. This one ended up selling for $42.49 on sale. I've sent offers out as low as like 25 or 30 bucks on this guy. It's a Marvin the Martian. It looks cool. It has a couple of marks, but it is a nice 90s size large. No one bought it, and I'm glad they didn't because someone finally came through full price, $42.49. That shirt was $1 at a garage, so I got that one and another old cartoon shirt for $1, so it was a great deal. Here's some Tamagotchis. These are these are the newer ones that Walgreens had. After Christmas, everything was down to 75% off. So these were originally 20 bucks. I got them for 5 plus tax. And I think if I bought enough stuff, like every 5 I bought, I got a 6th one free or something like that. And I bought 2 whole little packs of these. This is the first set to finally sell. I lotted mine together. I got 63 shipped, but I'm only in them for 15 plus tax. So that's a pretty good deal, and they did go global shipping, I remember that. I still have, I think, 6 or 7 left. I'm hoping by the time Christmas rolls around, someone will be interested in them. I've told you guys when I buy retail arbitrage, I'm not racing to the bottom with everybody else. If I buy it, I'm going to put a price on it and hold on until the market clears off and then move mine. I'm okay to do that because I don't usually get tied up in the capital. It doesn't worry me too much. Obviously, some people buy and they need to move that quickly, so that might happen. But again, always be careful with retail arbitrage. You can spend a lot of money and sit on stuff. Here's a cassette, Gangstar, Step in the Arena. That one sold for $13.49 from the Hip Hop Buy. Pretty good cassette, nothing to complain about. Dante's Inferno for the 360, that one sold for $9.34. It was on sale. I run a sale, I stagger a sale that's basically a 10% off, 15 and a 20. Now I've gone up to like 22%, and it's based on how old my items are. So the oldest items are at like 22%, and there's a little category of 20%, and then the category of 15 and down to 10. And it's how I slowly move stuff over time. And if it's been up for too long, it'll end up in the 22% off category, and it's time to hopefully just get rid of it. And some stuff still doesn't sell, and then some stuff sells right away. Right when it goes to 10% off, it sells. This one sold for 15% for $9.34. Nintendo DS Lite. This is the red and black handheld. This one always sells well if it does work, but this one did not work. Sold it for parts for $20 shipped, which is still a good deal for a broken DS or whatever, a broken system. Getting $20 for these. There was a time when these things were so common, getting $20 for a working one, some people were actually willing to take that. I would always try to sell mine for more, but getting 20 for a broken one is pretty good. These were something that we were at the storage unit guy sale. My father-in-law saw these. They're brand new sealed. He goes, "Hey, do you think?" And I'm like, they don't look like anything special, but they're brand new sealed. I'm not going to look them up. Just throw them in the pile. Looked them up when they got home. They sold for $25 shipped in one day. So a couple of them have sold for that price. I listed mine and they sold. It was, again, brand new sealed. My father-in-law has found a bunch of stuff for me via garage sales or whatever when we go out to storage unit guy. It's always great to have a second set of eyes. He likes to look for stuff for himself too, but he looks for stuff for me, and I'm training him up. I told him he's moved up quite a few levels with some of the good stuff he spotted. So I definitely owe him something down the road. I don't know what I'm going to get him, but I got to get him something for all this hard work. A PS Vita. This one is broken. I came with a big buy from Storage Unit Guy as well. This one I was there by myself. But I think you guys have seen the PS3, the backward compatible one that sold for $200. This was also there. We spent $500 that day. We got this. We got a 360. We got Pokemon Diamond or one of them, Heart Gold or something that sold for like $50. We also got all the camera and photography stuff. A lot of it started to sell, but there's some bigger pieces left that haven't. And I sold locally a Pelican case for $80 from them that had the camera equipment in it. So that was just cash, which was awesome. This one sold for $65 shipped. Look out for PS Vitas. They still sell well. The last one that worked, I got like 140 or 164, somewhere in there with no games. Definitely a great system, but broken. It got 65. I had about 20 offers on this thing. I had it listed for like 75 or 80 and got like a bunch of offers right away. 40, 45, 50, 55, and someone finally offered 65 and I let it go. We have a new, it's like a 9-movie pack, and it says it's for people who watch Little House on the Prairie, like a fan. So it's kind of a weird set, but it was sealed. It came with a bunch of other DVDs, and I just scanned it and listed it for 11 or 12 bucks, and it finally sold on sale for 10 bucks something. So pretty good deal there. Here's a bunch of that RIT laundry treatment. I bought a whole bag of this. I've gone over it before, but I spent 30 bucks on all this. I probably have 150 to 200 units. I haven't even counted them all. I put them in lots of 5. This one sold on sale for $22.49. They still end up going first class or light enough shipping wise, so it's a great deal. And I've sold 4 or 5 sets so far. Another DVD, this one was $2. Rosamunde Pilcher's Coming Home, Volume 1 and 2. One of the guys I buy from, super cool guy. He has just the most random stuff. He has garage sales probably about once or twice a month. And every time I go there, I could find nothing. It can be all trash, or I can find gems. I bought all these with a bunch of other DVDs. They were all a lot of BBC, Acorn, just kind of stuff I hadn't seen before, and different publishers or whatever. These ones sold for 18 shipped. They had $2 in. Here's a manual from the manual buy. This is the Mazda 95 little highlights manual. So basically it's just kind of got some of the main points of the manual the way I understood it. It's not a full manual. This one still sold for $15.29 on sale. Those manuals were great. I spent $500. We got 31 paper boxes full of car manuals. There's a video on my channel about it somewhere. We still have a bunch left, and we've sold through $4,000 worth of stuff somewhere around there. I lost count. We're at some Tupac cassettes, also from the Hip Hop Cassette Buy. This is the Are You Still Down? It's cassettes 1 and 2. They sold for $29 and some change on sale. It was Tupac. We knew it was going to sell. It just took some time, and obviously my price was a little high, so once it went on sale, someone bought it. VIP, the complete first season. This one's sealed. It's a Pamela Anderson set. This one sold for $13.49. This was something where it was fill a bag for $5. I went down there, threw this in there, and I left some other, like, some DVDs and some electronic. I forgot what it was. It's been like almost a year now, but I got a whole bunch of other stuff, great stuff. Fill a bag for $5, filled it up. I saw some stuff. I didn't go look it up while I was there. I just left, went back, was in the car later that day, and I was looking some stuff up, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That one DVD set was worth about $35. I could have thrown it in a box, plus the electronic I think was worth about $50, and I missed out on it. So I went back the next day and it was gone. But still got this for the $5, and I got a bunch of Christmas decorations and a couple of book sets, but that sold for $13.49. I love selling DVDs. I mentioned that. Super easy to ship, super easy to comp, doesn't take up much space, and they seem to sell pretty well. Oops, I went too far in the screenshots here. Here's an Apple 205. This is a power adapter to one of like the Apple, I don't know if it's like a G5 or whatever. I have the little unit that goes with it. I spent $50 on this and the unit that goes with it. The unit does not work. I'm listing it for parts, I think, for like $290 or something. I'm hoping, or $250. I'm hoping to get about $200, $180 for it. I've gotten some $140 and $150 offers, but I'm hoping for a little bit more. I sold just the power adapter because this did work. It powered it up, but the unit would not work. This sold for $80 shipped, and I didn't get any negative feedback. They never gave me positive, but never a return or anything. It's been gone for quite a while. Sold that for $80 shipped. Pretty good deal there. This is from the My Pet Monster Buy, the Ultimate Scream Collection DVDs. These sold for $32 shipped. Had a bunch of Scream DVDs, and I think I added one more in here that wasn't in the set. Yeah, Scream 4, I put this one in here on top of it, and I got 32 shipped for that used set, which is really great for some DVDs. Here's some Nightmare Before Christmas Jack Skellington little glow things. They have little rubber things. I think you can put them on your car, like a window or something. I had two of them. They were on sale, and someone bought both for 27 shipped. So pretty good deal. These were a throw-in from Storage Unit Guy. I bought a bunch of, I think we spent about $400 that day. And I was just throwing Disney stuff in these boxes. I just grabbed everything I could find and threw it in there that was Disney. And a lot of these little things weren't worth a ton, but again, 27 shipped on that is nothing to complain about. And I think they still went first class. Blue's Clues, the Blues Big Musical VHS, used VHS. I got a bunch of Disney ones and some other stuff. They were just given to me, and I happened to look up Blues Clues because I hadn't seen one before. I know what it is, but I hadn't seen the VHS before about it. Scanned it, and it looked like it sold, and it sold for 10 shipped. I just put a little layer of bubble, throw it in the bubble mailer, and it's on its way. Some more Rit laundry stuff. Again, another lot sold for $22.49, so not going to go over it again, but still a good deal there. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, this cassette from the Rock and Roll Buy, it sold overnight. Listed it for $10 and it sold for 10. And that's where the comps were, so I'm not sure why mine sold right away, but I sure am not complaining about it. We have a little turbocharged Donkey Kong Skylanders figure. This was from a big Skylanders buy we had. It just looked different, so I looked it up. It's like an Amiibo slash Skylanders, I guess. It sold for 12 shipped, and I just picked up another one the other day because I knew this one sold. And I listed it for I think 12 or 13 bucks, and it may have sold already, so I forgot. But 12 bucks for a little figure, goes first class, pretty good deal. Here's a bunch of model train buildings. Something to say with these model trains. These ones are kind of scuffed and beat up. I sold this lot for 50 shipped. It shipped all the way to, I want to say Virginia, but these things weigh nothing. I bubble wrap them, put them in a box, and I think we spent 14 or 16 bucks FedEx to ship them for whatever reason, because they weigh basically nothing. I just put a little layer of bubble and kind of pack them nicely into a box and got 50 bucks for them. These came in a big train. We had a bunch of trains and a bunch of old buildings, and I sold 4 sets of these buildings for anywhere from 50 to 70 shipped. And that was awesome because I probably had $100 just in the buildings, but I also had trains and other track and all kinds of stuff. So you can sell pre-made buildings, and some people will pay money because they're already built. Some of them are already painted or whatever. They just want them for their set. They'll do some touch-ups or whatever. But obviously, you know, these were kind of beat up, so I had to take a little lower on the price. But it might be worth it if you can find a bunch of built ones, lot them together, and maybe someone will come in and make a good offer. Some Xbox 360 games, Batman Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. These ones sold for $11.89. The listing's older, you can tell by the pictures, so they sold on sale at 15% off. Got about 12 bucks on those, which I'm okay with. I doubt I had much into them. Here we have Xanadu. I've never watched this DVD, but it is Olivia Newton-John. This one sold for 11, shipped from the Rock and Roll Buy. Just one of those ones that looked different, so I scanned it and it seemed to sell, and I believe it sold within a couple weeks, so happy with that. Here's some Oroco mini tanks. These were $2 at an estate sale. It's like a little mini figure thing. It is brand new. The box is open, everything's still sealed inside. I didn't even look it up while I was there. I looked it up when I got back, and I'm like, oh, these sell for $2. I listed mine for 20. It sat for a little while, but finally sold on sale for 18. It did go first class. It's only like a little box like this. It's pretty small. Perfect Dark. This game was supposed to be such a great game when it came out on 64, but it turned out to be kind of not so good. GoldenEye just blew it out of the water, quality-wise. This one ended up selling for $14.44 on sale. It still always sells, it seems, but not nearly as valuable as some of the other 64 games. Here's something from the death pile. I've been working on that slowly through the quarantine, and by working on it, I mean I've barely listed anything, but I did a few things. This is one of them. It's a Santa blow mold. It's an 11-inch one, no cord. I think I paid $3 for him at a garage sale, and there were no real comps for this guy. I should have listed him higher and took offers, but he sold for 30 shipped overnight. He did still go first class because he weighs nothing. He's only 11 inches. But he was the first thing out of the death pile, I think, to sell, so I was pretty stoked about that. 30 shipped. And I actually have, to be fair, I did work on a set of drill chargers from my death pile. They were all tangled. I've been selling those like hotcakes, so you'll see them in a future video. So I did do a little more than just this Santa. Here's a Ben Gordon Chicago Bulls jersey. This one sold for 85 shipped. One of my thrift stores got a bunch of these jerseys. They had them listed at like $50 initially. They were down to basically any jersey was $10. I bought this one 10. It was brand new with tags, I believe, and it sold for, maybe it wasn't, I don't remember, but it sold for, yeah, it has original tags. It sold for 85 shipped, which is an awesome deal for a jersey. Here's a little Hershey's chocolate, little caddy, like lunchbox looking thing. I thought this was going to go for more. I bought it in a big bundle, didn't look it up. It finally sold for $23.79. It cost us like $11 to ship it. So we made maybe $5 or $6, $7, I don't know. Not enough to really be worth your time. But again, happy to get it out of here. Not all sales are great. Here's a little Panasonic cassette player. I bought this for $1. It did not work. Sold it for parts for repair. The cassette didn't work, the radio did, but sold it for parts for $10 shipped on a best offer. Again, pretty good deal, I guess, to get my dollar back and make a few bucks. If it did work, I'm sure I would have gotten 20, 25, maybe a little more. Here's a cassette, KRS-One, Return of the Boom Bap, I guess, the name of the cassette. This one sold for 16 shipped, again, from the Hip Hop Cassette Buy. We have Medal of Honor for PS2. This one sold for $5.94. I normally wouldn't list a game that low. It was actually listed at $7, which is already lower than I want to be at. But I must have took pictures. I listed it anyways, and then it finally sold on sale for $5.94. Hobbit for PS2 sold for $7.19. Another one that sold on sale. Not a great selling game. Don't recommend selling. It's been up for quite a while. Ephemeral Fantasia. This is one where you look at the cover and you go, that game's worth quite a bit of money just by the cover. Turned out it wasn't. It was only worth about 17 shipped, and it didn't sell till it was on sale. So still worth it. Probably you can get it for $1 or $2, but it looks like it'd be worth like 30 or 40 bucks, but it's not. The Ruddles 2 DVDs from the Rock and Roll Buy. This one sold for 19 shipped. We're doing really well on the Rock and Roll stuff, guys. 19 shipped on that DVD. Here's a Chilton's repair manual. This one I don't think is from the $500 buy. I think it's from a separate one. I think I spent like 20 bucks on a bunch of manuals before the $500 buy. This one ended up selling for 20 shipped on a best offer. It was listed at 40. There were no real comps on it. That's why I listed it so high, but no one's even made an offer. The first guy came through at 20, and it's his. I need it out of here. Some Penplax aqua plants. These are for like a fish tank. They glow in the dark. I got all these, I think, for $8, plus I got a couple of other fish stuff. They sold for 32 shipped. They went first class, but most of the packagings were actually open, like they were detached from the back cardboard. I thought they might be cool for someone who wanted some different plants that might be a little, they were like vintage from the 90s, I guess. Ended up getting 32 shipped. Probably still worth it, but it took a while to sell. A manual from them, a $500 manual by a Toyota MR2 service manual. This one sold for $50 from 1985. Had a bunch of stains on it, but that doesn't really matter. People just want the content. Again, $50 took a best offer. It was listed at 100. Listed it high because there were no real comps, but nothing's really bought it at this point. It's been basically over a year, so $50, it's theirs. These were a great deal. For 10 bucks, I got two paper bags full of manga. They had 5 other listings on OfferUp with manga. Someone came through and bought all the other ones but this one. This was one set from there. I got 2 sets. This one sold for 50 shipped. It went global shipping program. I have 1 set left. I don't know if it's sold yet, but that one will probably go for like 40 or 50 as well. So great deal on manga. If you can get a nice big set or a bunch of volumes from one particular series, you can do well. A Toshiba laptop charger, paid $1 for this. It sold for 20 shipped. It goes in a padded flat rate. We still probably make almost 10 bucks on that, which is awesome. A little Dolphins dry erase board. I bought these for 99 cents. I had 4 of them. I think I had 2 Patriots, a Dolphins, and one other one. I forgot who it was. It sold for $11.99. I haven't sold the others yet, and they've been up for quite a while. I thought someone might want it for like a man cave, but not super desirable. They go first class. They cost about $4 to ship. I know it's getting late in the video, but we still got more. We have the Xbox 360 Lego Movie video game. This one sold for $9.59. We got a Jansport corduroy backpack with like some big old stars on there, but someone colored in some of the stars. This sold for 25 shipped on a best offer. I had $2 in it. I think it still went first class. If not, it costs us about $7 or $8 to ship it. So did okay on that. The best Jansports are the corduroy ones that are the vintage ones, or the ones with like the leather bottoms. Those seem to still do pretty well if you can find them, or the mini corduroy ones do well. Drawn Together DVD. This is from the My Pet Monster buy. That sold for 10 shipped. Just a used DVD, nothing too crazy. The Price is Right for Wii. A lot of like Family Feud and stuff and Wheel of Fortune can sell on the Wii. Price is Right did not sell nearly as well. It finally sold for 8 shipped. Some Nike Air Max Tailwind 8s. I paid $20 for 5 pairs of women's Nikes. There were 1 set of Pumas, and I think 1 set of, what were they? I don't know, Coach or something, shoes. And these ones sold for 38 shipped, so I had $20 and I got 38 just on this 1 pair. I think actually I partial refund this lady $7. She said inside the fabric was coming a little loose and she wanted $7 back. It was coming a little loose. I guess I didn't mark it enough in the picture. There's a picture of it, not in the description, so I gave her the $7. Todd Rundgren's DVD here. This one sold for 14 shipped, again from the Rock and Roll buy. Dog Training Trips and Ticks and Tips sold for $8 shipped. Just a random DVD from a big DVD buy. Here's a cool one, this Advanced Combat Helmet. This one was from the My Pet Monster buy as well. We spent $4.50 that day. This helmet sold overnight for 180 shipped. Sorry for the shaky camera work, but that was a pretty good sale there. A Canon AE1, no lens, just the camera and the body, sold for 85 shipped. Probably one of my favorite cameras to sell, the AE1. A lot of students use these for photography classes and stuff. This one always seems to sell. If I have a lens, even better. I usually can get anywhere from 65 on the low to up to like 100 if you have a nice setup. Here's a My Pet Rocket, or My Pat Rocket, sorry, from Little Einsteins. These figures, look up Little Einstein's figures. They do really well, but if you can find the rocket ship and it works with the figures, I don't know where the price is now, but you used to be able to get $100 easy for that. But look up Little Einstein figures and Pat Rocket. If they're still doing as well, which they should be, it's definitely worth burning in your brain there, because you might be able to find those out in the wild. Some Carl Connie jeans, even sold for 45 shipped. They were $10 at Savers. They were in my death pile. Pulled them out, and they sold within a day for 45 at a best offer. Carl Connie can do really well, but these ones are new Italian, but they're not that elaborate. They're kind of plain Jane jeans, but they ended up selling for 45. An R5 TaylorMade driver sold for 34 shipped. This one was up for quite a while. It's an older one, so kind of a bad model. It still only cost us like 13 to ship it, so I think we probably had $5 in. Probably still enough money to make it worth it, but again, older golf clubs are a little bit rougher, and this was a left-handed club. A pair of Hoka 1-1s or One-Ones, whatever you want to say. I'm not too fancy, but these are the Bondi 3s women's shoes. They were a size 9.5. I paid $12 for these at the thrift store. I thought I was going to get like 25% off, but by the time I got there and was already ringing them up, they were not. They still sold for 60 shipped though, which I thought was pretty good for a used pair of shoes. Dragon Tales VHS, 3 of them. I paid $4 for these. There was a 4th one, but it ended up being a different VHS was in the Dragon Tales case. I sold these 3 basically $4 in for 18 shipped. They went media mail. I thought they were going to do better, but weren't as good. Plus, I didn't have one of the extra VHS. Deep Purple for the Rock and Roll Buy sold for 21 shipped. The CD, pretty good deal for a used CD. Here's a Starbucks Stanley thermal drink tumbler. This one sold for $40.79. This is from the Starbucks stuff. We spent $5 each one. If you see me selling any brand new Starbucks stuff, it's from that buy. $5 in, $40 out. It was on sale. An Apple iPhone Xbox sold for $8.79 on sale. These boxes are not doing what they used to. I do not recommend if you have them for free, sure, but I wouldn't recommend going out and buying a bunch of them. There's definitely, the market's full of them now. Around Christmas time, people sometimes buy them as jokes for people, I guess, I've heard. So maybe that would be the time to list them if you can. Neopets handheld sold for $27 shipped. Pretty good deal on some Neopets stuff. I probably should have parted out, could have made more money, but Neopets does sell. Here's a Care Bear, the Sunflower Bear, sold for $16 shipped, just a plush. Paid 50 cents on this one. We got a bunch of Care Bears that day, and almost all have sold. I think I have one left. 2 Halo figures, these sold for $85 shipped. These were a pretty good deal as well, from the $1,600 toy and Lego game buy. These two were listed at $140, but took a best offer of $85 shipped on them. Buyer was super happy with getting them. Halo stuff, Mega Bloks or whatever it is, seems to sell pretty well. Marvel Ultimate Alliance sold for $8.49. Just a pretty generic Wii game. Here's a Google Chromecast. I think this is the second edition. This one sold for $25 shipped. Not a whole lot, but I got 2 of them in a big buy that I had. Tested them out. They worked well, and they sold really quickly for $25. Yep. Here's a Cincinnati Reds jersey here. This one sold, was a Ken Griffey Jr. one. This one sold for $40 shipped. I think I paid $10 at a garage sale for this, or a thrift store somewhere. Ended up getting $40 shipped, and it sold on sale. Here is a Deadly Towers Nintendo game. This one again is on sale. It's been up for a while. Sold for $5.59. Not really worth the time, and there is some wear to the label. Here's a Territory Ahead. This is a 2XLT. This one I paid $5 for plus tax, I believe. I got a bunch of 2XL and 3XL shirts that day. A lot of them were colorful, like, you know, geometric prints and stuff. I know Territory Ahead is not the greatest brand anymore, but I figured for a 2XLT in this kind of theme, someone would buy it, and someone came through with a $30.55 offer, and I accepted. I was happy to get rid of it. And lastly, guys, I know it's been a little bit longer, but I did want to get through all these, at least for the 3 days, is The Legend of Al-Andar for PS2. $9.59, it's been up for a while, went on a 20% off to finally sell. Don't recommend selling this one, probably because it's not going to sell that well, but it did finally sell for almost $10. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, let me know if you guys have any special things or superstitions you have when you're out garage. So it doesn't have to be something you wear, but maybe something you do, some routine or whatever that seems to work for you when you're out there buying. But hope you guys enjoy. Hope your families are staying safe, and take care. See you in the next video.